Where are we going from here? We're building vertical architectures. There's 4 areas we're focused on. We're building autonomous training architectures, medical imaging architectures, genomics, and use cases like fraud. What do they look like? We're starting to build out these pipelines specific to products that focus by use case. So NVIDIA Drive, for example, starting to look at integrating ONTAP AI with NVIDIA Drive. And what does that mean in terms of the data flow? How do you size it for the training jobs? And then how do you build separate architectures for training and replay or simulation? Similarly, we're starting to look at medical imaging and building out these NVIDIA Clara architectures on ONTAP AI. How do you take a Clara system and build a pod that is a Clara deployment that can give you the assisted annotation as well as the labeling? So what is the benefit of this? Why is every hospital and every higher ed institution focused on the medical imaging practices looking at AI? What's going on? The bottom line is you can take images of any type and start to look at AI as transforming that workflow. Medical imaging is a classic example. If you're paying a radiologist to be able to look at these images and you're bottlenecked on the number of radiologists, the location, and the physical wear and tear of looking at these images, AI automation gets it down from where you could look at 50 to 70 hours worth of charts to now looking at 500 hours worth of charts using AI-assisted medical imaging. We're seeing this across the board. Odds are the providers that are handling healthcare for many of you in the room are using NetApp today because we're deployed with healthcare providers focused on medical imaging, focused on medical fraud prevention, focused around automation of the nurse or the physician assistant use cases. So we're starting to build these pods with Clara and with Drive. And what does the pod look like? Images coming out of the departments into a hospital backend, into a data lake, going through training with the neural networks pushed back out, so you have AI-assisted medical offices for that medical imaging use case. Sizing the systems out for performance so that we can then deploy what is needed for that use case. Same thing with genomics. Genomics jobs on CPU clusters taking forever, now getting reduced down with GPU cluster deployments using vendors like Parabricks on ONTAP AI. Similar disruption around the structured data set. Everything we talked about was unstructured. Now starting to look at structured data with GPU databases and the acceleration of structured machine learning with GPU databases.